Hi folks, so today's reaction video is for an artist called ROSÉ, or Rose. This is somebody I'm not familiar with, and the title of this song is called On the Ground. It seems to have just been released. So without further ado, after 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so we're coming back to Earth here, back from space. Wonder, is that symbolic for something? Oh.
My life's been magic, seems fantastic. I used to have a hole in the wall with a mattress. Funny when you want it, suddenly you have it. You find out that your goal's just plastic every day.
Okay, so her vocal obviously pushed very predominantly in the middle, and then we've got two guitars. The guitar in the left channel is it has a very strong tremolo effect, you know, so that's an effect in the pedal there, that whenever the chord is played, that you get this sort of shimmering sound. It's called the tremolo effect. And then the guitar on the right hand side is playing different thing, you know, just chords that are held but they're not affected, and her vocal up the middle. I'm getting slight vibes of sort of country. There's like an American country feel to the melody so far, but I'll be curious to see what happens as that sort of goes on. Run back a little bit.
It's been magic, seems fantastic. I used to have a hole in the wall with a mattress. Funny when you want it, suddenly you have it. You find out that your goal's just plastic every day, every night.
So,
I've been thinking back.
Even though there's no percussion or other instruments that are providing much in the way of rhythm, her vocal delivery is very rhythmic. So it's actually really groovy, the rhythmic pattern there of her vocal. Really like that. I'm not really getting a lot of the lyrics. Remember, this is a first time reaction, so I guess I'm probably focusing more on the melody, the production, and different things like that. A very rhythmic style in the singing.
Back on you and I, every day, every night. I work my whole life just
Oh, lovely big acoustic.
just to be like, look at me, I'm never coming down.
I'm a sucker for that kind of chord change there. We've got a nice major chord followed by the minor. You know, I guess the Beatles would have been one of the bands that really popularized that kind of style, where you get this happy immediately followed by the sad. Gives the music a kind of slight melancholic vibe. That's nice. I'm hearing some sort of shimmery keyboard sort of effect. Dun, 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 dun. It sounds like it's kind of panning between the ears there. That's quite nice. So we'll go back again a little bit. There's the minor. Nice jazzy little bass line there. Oh. Right, didn't see that coming. So that little sort of interlude there that comes in there, obviously very much driven by the synth bass. Kind of sounds to my ear almost like a Moog, like a mini Moog or something like that. You know, it's got a monophonic kind of bass tone going on, bum, ba da 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 dum, and it's going between the octaves. You know, the same note, low and high, dum, ba da 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 dum, and then we've got some sort of tambourine and things in there. So production-wise, it's not very big and loud and bold. It's actually fairly sort of moderate in terms of the arrangement, but it's very groovy because of that bass line that's going on there with the alternating notes between the octaves. Bit of harmony there at the end as well. It's the tambourine. There's some nice things going on there in the production with the vocals as well. We did get more of a crowd chant kind of feel. Lots of voices came in there, and we can hear her, like, what sound to me like ad-libbed vocals in the distance, sort of further away, lower in the mix, with lots of reverb on the back as well, you know, to kind of give it that spacey, airy kind of feel. This bit, again, you know, I don't know an awful lot about country music, but in terms of country pop, in my mind would be country pop anyway from America in the last sort of 10 years. That little section there is very reminiscent of it, although everything else that's going on is a lot more eclectic than that. You know, it's keeping everything very, very interesting.
Trying to send a message and let you know that every single minute I'm
Nice acoustics again.
Right, just to be like, look at me, I'm never coming down. I work my whole life.
Okay, so we're getting some of the same aspects that we had before. I guess this is kind of like a... it's hard to tell really with the structure so far. Again, this is a first reaction, but it seems like that's actually the chorus, even though the music lifts up from that into the little sort of synth dum ba da da da. Obviously, that's a lot more instrumental in nature as opposed to like a big anthemic chorus with lots of vocals. So I'm getting this kind of feels like the chorus, although typically this would be more like a pre-chorus in most songs.
Just to get high, just to realize everything I need is on the, everything I need is on the ground.
We got that synth come back in again.
On the ground.
It also sounds to me like the synth has what you would call a slow attack on it, which means that when the note is struck, that you don't immediately get the sound straight away. So by setting a slightly slower attack on it, means that as it's played, then the actual sound of the note comes through with a slight delay. It gives that really laid back kind of feel. So instead of it being like dum ba da 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 dum, you can hear there's ever so slightly a bit of a delay on that every time the note is played.
Everything I
Tiny behind the beat.
ground, but they don't hear me though. Yeah, what goes up must come down, but they don't hear me though.
Okay, so I've just got a little bit of the lyrics there. It's something like whatever goes up must come down. I don't know if there's some sort of metaphorical thing going on here. Obviously, this is very high up on the trending list, so I don't know if there's any sort of history there or what it is that she's speaking about. But you know, the connotations are being grounded, coming from up in sort of higher realms back down to earth. You know, perhaps a lot of you who are fans of Rose or Rosé will let me know what this song is about. But that's what I'm getting on this first impression.
You're running out of time. I'm way up in the clouds, and they say I made it now, but I
Oh.
figured it out. Everything.
There's more of that. What I was talking about, the slow attack on the synth. This time we're into like a more mid-range part of the synth, and as the chords are being played, again you can hear what's happening there. Really, is the note is being played, and then there's a also getting kind of Blade Runner, you know, dare I say it, Blade Runner Vangelis kind of vibes there, and those very 80s synth sounds. I wonder, you know, did they use maybe analog gear from the 80s or 90s to achieve that, or maybe was it done with plugins? Hard to know really, because the plugins these days are so good, but definitely getting 80s vibes at that point.
But I figured it out. Everything.
You can hear the swell.
is on the ground. Just drove by your house, so far from you now.
And again, you know, so very synth driven. You can hear the sort of repeated notes, dum bum 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 bum, which I guess would be sort of quavers here in Europe. You know, a lot of the rest of the world maybe considers that would be eighth notes. But I prefer to talk in quavers, so you get this dun 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 dun, building a little bit of anticipation there. So I'm presuming that we're going to build up again, possibly to the same chorus. Be surprised if we go somewhere else, because it seems quite poppy in terms of its structure so far.
Just drove by your house, so far from you now. But I figured it out. Everything I need is on. Everything I need is on the ground. On the ground.
Oh, nice descending line here.
Everything I need is on the ground. But they don't hear me though. But they don't hear me though. Everything I need is on the ground.
Oh, that's it. Okay, that was cool the way everything kind of came together there in the end. So we got a nice big climactic moment at the very end with, I guess you would kind of call that a bit like a coda in music, which is a summary of all the things that came before. So we got that some da 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 dum dum dum, the sort of smaller, what would we say, more intimate kind of part that was played earlier on. The song now opened up a lot bigger, more percussion, bigger production, opened up, so a bit more dancey at the end. Yeah, this was kind of cool. This is definitely not the type of music that I would normally listen to. I'm more into, you know, I'm a classical pianist. I also play heavy metal on guitar, and you know, you'll find some of my music here on YouTube as well. But I really enjoyed this. So you know, for pop music, which seems like pop music to me. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Maybe it's K-pop or something like that. Um, but I would score this fairly high in the production, good bit of fun. So thanks very much.